Best friends don't always stay forever. They used to say that some friendships were stronger than blood, and for a long time, I believed that was true. Arav and I met when we were barely old enough to understand what friendship meant. We were two awkward children sitting on the last bench of a noisy classroom, united by nothing more than shared boredom and a broken pencil we passed back and forth. That small act of sharing became the beginning of something that felt permanent, unbreakable, like a promise the world itself had made to us. As the years passed, our friendship grew into a language of its own. We didn't need to explain our jokes or our silences. A single glance was enough to communicate entire conversations. We grew up in each other's houses, knew each other's parents by name, and understood each other's fears without asking. When one of us laughed, the other laughed harder. When one of us cried, the other pretended not to notice, offering comfort in quieter ways. We believed that no matter how life changed, we would always remain the same. School days were filled with shared dreams and careless plans. We talked about the future as if it were a simple road we would walk together. We imagined working in the same city, living close by, growing old while laughing at memories only we could understand. Whenever teachers asked us where we saw ourselves in 10 years, our answers were different, but our certainty was the same. We would still be best friends. The idea of growing apart never crossed our minds because we didn't think it was possible. But life has a strange way of reshaping promises without asking for permission. The first crack appeared when we finished school and chose different paths. Arav got into a university in another city, while I stayed behind, tied to family responsibilities and a different set of dreams. At first, the distance felt harmless. We called each other every night, sent long messages filled with updates, jokes, and complaints. We promised that nothing would change, and for a while, it felt true. Slowly, though, the calls became shorter. Our messages turned into quick replies instead of long conversations. Arav was busy making new friends, discovering new interests, and building a life that didn't include me in the way it once had. I told myself this was normal, that friendships evolve, that we were just adjusting. Still, there was an ache I couldn't ignore, a quiet fear that something precious was slipping through my fingers. Whenever Arav came back home during holidays, things felt different. We still laughed, but the laughter didn't last as long. There were pauses in our conversations, moments where we struggled to find topics to talk about. He spoke about his new life with excitement, and I listened, smiling, even when I felt left behind. I realized that while I had been holding on to what we were, he was becoming someone new, and I wasn't sure where I fit anymore. Misunderstanding started to grow, small at first, then heavier. A missed call turned into days of silence. A forgotten birthday became an unspoken wound. Neither of us wanted to admit that we were hurting, so we pretended everything was fine. We avoided difficult conversations because we were afraid of what they might reveal. In doing so, we allowed distance to speak for us. One evening, after months of limited contact, I saw a photo Arav posted online. He was surrounded by friends I didn't recognize, smiling in a way that felt unfamiliar. It wasn't jealousy that hurt the most. It was the realization that his happiness no longer needed me. I closed the app and sat quietly. understanding for the first time that friendship, no matter how deep, doesn't always survive change. When we finally talked honestly, the truth came out in fragments. We admitted that we felt disconnected, that we didn't understand each other's lives anymore. There was no anger, no dramatic argument, just a heavy sadness hanging between us. We both tried to hold on, but holding on felt forced, like pretending a chapter hadn't ended when it clearly had. Over time, the conversations stopped altogether. Days turned into months, and months into years. We didn't officially say goodbye, but the silence became our farewell. Occasionally, I would hear about Arab through mutual friends, and he would hear about me in the same way. We became stories in each other's past, instead of people in each other's present. Letting go was the hardest part. For a long time, I blamed myself, wondering what I could have done differently. Could I have tried harder? Could I have spoken sooner? Could I have saved us? But slowly, I began to understand that not all endings are failures. Some friendships are meant to shape you, not stay with you forever. They teach you how to trust, how to care, how to love without conditions. I still carry pieces of that friendship with me. The jokes we shared, the secrets we kept, the comfort we found in each other's presence. They are all part of who I am today. Arav may no longer be in my life, but the impact he had will never disappear. Our friendship didn't last forever, but it mattered deeply while it did. Now, when I hear people say that best friends are forever, I smile softly. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they aren't, and that's okay. Not every story is meant to last until the end. Some are meant to exist for a season, leaving behind memories that quietly shape the rest of your life. Best friends don't always stay forever, but the love, the lessons, and the moments they give us remain, and in that way, they never truly leave.